Kevin, Red Living Philippines. What am I up to today? Down at the Mitsubishi dealer down in Angeles City. We're here to pick up our car. We're thinking on getting a Toyota Rush, but then I noticed they came out with a new expander. I wasn't a fan of the front end of the last year and the year before's models, but they came out with a new Sport Edition. It's just a cosmetic upgrade. It's a little roomier than a Toyota Rush, so I decided to go with second best, I guess, because in my opinion Toyota is the best car to get in the Philippines for parts and service, and Mitsubishi a close second. So I'm getting the Expander Cross Edition, my wife and I, and it looks pretty much like the one that's behind me, except it doesn't have the stickers. It's got rain guards, and upgraded the backup camera to a 360 degree instead of just backup. So they put a couple additions in it, and they tinted the windows and let you choose what colors. So yeah, let's look at the test drive car. Mine's the same color, silver, looks like this. As soon as we get done with the paperwork and they hand the keys over, we'll check out our new car, but it looks just like this. This is their one for test drive. Down here on MacArthur Highway, across from the Robinson's Mall, before the bridge. Come around to the other side. Here's a side view. And the rear view. So, I'll be back with a new car once we get the keys and head home. There's my wife signing my life away with her signature, and our nice sales lady, Patricia. More stacks of paper and a manual.
The insurance, sir, TPL.
Okay, so we've had the car about a week. Went and looked at them, did the paperwork as you saw. Now let's take a little walk around it. It's a 2023 Mitsubishi Expander Cross Edition, which is a Sport Edition. Sorry, the noise. Construction's construction. The worker must work. But the Cross has this extra chrome. It's basically the looks. It's got the rock guards. It's basically silver, black trim and some chrome. It has this on it for the rack. I think you gotta buy a rack and put it on. I'm not sure if that would support luggage. Yeah, let me do a walk around. I got a 360 degree camera, and I assumed it would record. It doesn't. You got to get what they call a dash cam. It's not one and the same. It's about $275 US. I think we're going to put it in that car because it doesn't have a backup camera or anything. This one came with a backup camera, but it was limited function, very basic, just they got a 360 degree and the radio doesn't work. So we're looking at getting a dash cam, 360 dash cam that records. The windows retract when you lock it. That's, I think, most standard with most new cars. You lock it. And the mirrors fold in. Unlock it, they fold out. So this one has like a slate blue interior. Let's look at the inside. I got the rain guards added. Here, you can see the rain guards on the windows. Or I should say my wife and I. So there's the color. It's like a blue slate color. I think it goes well with the silver. I like it. Got 2 sets of seats for the rear. It's a 7-person vehicle, 6 if they're large like me. Good part about this one, when you have all 3 seats up, you still have a little bit of space here and storage. This one has seats in the back. It's a lot smaller car. My brother-in-law's Kia Karen. When the seats are up, it goes all the way to the back. You can see this is a shorter car, but you can sandwich 7 people, 6 or 7 into that one, depending on their size. That's the engine compartment. Brand new clean motor. Wow, that's a little battery. I'm used to bigger batteries. Here's my hand next to it. It's really not that large. So there's a look at the car, walk around. I'm gonna go inside and I'll go over some numbers and some things about buying a car. So I'll just pause it here for a minute and see you inside. So I'm back inside so I can read you some numbers, give you a little bit of what the process was for me. Looked at it, decided which car we wanted, went to the Mitsubishi dealership, got a quote, and we decided we had the money we saved and put half the money down, went to our bank, PNB, to finance the other half. So we got a quote. They sent it over to PNB. Originally it was an 80,000 peso discount. Our banker was able to get it to 100,000 peso discount. So it only took, the quote was written out right there on site. We took the quote with us, or maybe she sent it. No, she sent it over to PNB. Then the loan was not difficult, but a little more time consuming. It almost took a week. They didn't know how to do my pay. They're only used to Social Security. I'm not here on Social Security. I'm too young. I'm only 56. I'm here on a military pension. And I took them a government worker has a website called MyPay for military and civil service, DOD and whatnot. I took them that statement. They'd never seen one. They didn't know how to read it. And they wanted to see something going into my bank account, which is, I have a Wells Fargo account in the U.S. where my money goes, or our money goes. And we just transfer money to the PNB as we need it. We've even done direct bank transfers where you'd like transfer the money directly from the bank to I don't know, S&M Appliance if you want to buy a refrigerator or something, or you can send the money, cash it out in pesos and take it there. Anyhow, so I signed into MyPay, looked at some options. There's actually a statement of service that says I did 20 years of service, I retired on this day, and I will receive this amount for the rest of my life. So I got that letter, I took it there. Actually, no, we emailed it to her, sorry. We downloaded it, PDF, sent it. She looked at it, they called back, I want to say it was a Thursday.
And then she called back Friday, confused on the My Pay statement. So we fiddled over the weekend, got that. We sent it Monday for that statement. Then they wanted a Wells Fargo statement, 3 months, showing my military retirement paycheck going into our Wells Fargo. So we had to, basically print the PDF from online to the desktop and send it to her. So we did that, and then a few days later, they approved it. So we went over, picked up the car. So it took about a week, mostly because of my retirement account and them not knowing what the documents looked like and whatnot. So it took a little bit of head scratching on their part. Anyhow, we got it financed. We haven't made our first payment yet. We're going to set that up for take it out of our account automatically, because we send money every month to ourselves, and we'll just adjust a little bit for the car payment. They can just take it right out of the PNB account and pay PNB for the loan. So let me read some numbers. So the 2023 Mitsubishi Expander base model. If you buy a base model with a manual transmission, their cheapest version of this vehicle is $19,770, which is 1,068,000 pesos. Okay, the base Cross is $20,888, $1,128,000 pesos. That's the manual transmission one. Now the automatic transmission we got, the full price for the Cross version, what we got with an automatic transmission, they've only got 4 different models to choose from, so that's the most expensive one. That's $24,590,000 US dollars, 1,328,000 pesos. Now, they did give us a discount. It ended up being 104,000 pesos. I said 100,000, but when I did the math, maybe it's because the exchange rate gives us a little more. It ended up being 104,000 pesos, or $1,940 discount. So we ended up paying for our Cross total, between the loan, well, not the loan, the total we got, of course there's interest on the loan. The total we paid for it with the discount was $22,650 US dollars, or 1,224,000 pesos. So the price difference between the automatic Cross versus the manual Cross, if you want to drive a stick into traffic, I don't want to. The full price, like I said, was 1,328,000 pesos. The manual transmission for the Cross version, which is a sport with all that plastic that I showed you, 1,128,000 pesos. So a price difference of 200,000 pesos roughly, or $3,700. Hopefully I got my numbers right. Okay, in this last segment of buying a car in the Philippines, I'll put up at the end of the video a sheet with numbers to clarify what I just babbled about prior to this, and hopefully it'll clarify it with the numbers on what the base models are, how much we paid, and what small discount we got. Anyhow, I have a funny story before I close this one out about buying things in the Philippines. I had mentioned I upgraded to a 360 camera. So we drove the car home in the rain. Originally, when I got the 360 camera, I said, "Hey, it's going to record, right?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "How long?" He said, "Well, it depends on the SD card, size of the SD card you put in." It's like, okay, cool. So we picked it up. They're driving home. My wife's trying to tune the radio, and it's not tuning into any stations. I'm getting no stations, so the radio doesn't work. There's no SD slot. So we called them, and we're going to bring it back. We took it home that afternoon. We called them the next day, and they made an appointment for 9 o'clock the day after that. So 2 days transpired. And anyways, when we picked up the car, the original guy was, when we were doing the paperwork, said that depends on the SD card you put in it. The guy that's went over the 3D camera. I asked, so how do I record? Where's the menu button? He's like, this doesn't do that. You got to buy a dash cam. So my wife and I talked about it on the way home. We called the lady back. She said it should record, and we made an appointment to bring it in again the next day to have the camera looked at. And the radio tuner would tune. We got one station. So the day before we brought it in, my wife was fiddling with the menu, did find a menu that said record, and it said USB. So I was assuming it was a USB on the car dashboard. I didn't have a chance to try it, but we took it in, and apparently the radio, he tried it on a different car at the dealership. The radio will not auto-tune. If you hit the tune to scan for stations, it will not grab a radio station. You have to click each frequency until it grabs one, and then memorize it. You know, where you press and hold the button to memorize that station. So that's a goofy quirk. The other thing was, he showed us how to use the recording, showed how the camera operated, this new guy. They looked it over, and he showed me a USB dongle in the glove box, and it was not there. They didn't say they forgot to put it in, but I know that's what happened. So it's not the USB on the dashboard. That's for music, to plug in, you know, and play music, or plug your phone in. So there was a dongle that was not. My wife and I know for sure there was not a USB dongle in the glove box. So it used a USB port, not an SD card. I've yet to try it, but anyways, that's a goofy story. How things work funny here in the Philippines. I'll put a little spreadsheet or paper, type something up on Microsoft Paint with some numbers, and hope it clarifies the price. So yeah, Red Living Philippines, Kevin here. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, leave a comment. Hope you enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful day.